Good day. From Lumen Field in Seattle.
Tyler Bass about ready to get us going.
And off we go from Seattle. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And they're led out by their mobile. Quarterback out of West Virginia, it's Geno Smith.
I still remember back in 2013 when he was drafted out of West Virginia. He was coming off of back-to-back 4,000-yard seasons for the Mountaineers. Hadn't seen as much game time in recent years, but at one point, a capable starter in the NFL.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They'll fake it. Now Smith sliding out of the pocket. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a first.
From the gun, it's Walker.
And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
From the 44 now, here's 2nd and 4.
They'll try the air now with Smith. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything. And against that man coverage, there was no space available. An incompletion as a result.
Now Geno.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4. Now to the ground. Here's Walker.
And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. Tackle made there by Matt Milano.
From the 46, here's the 2nd and 5.
Geno down to throw. Rolling to his right.
As it complete to Jackson Smith and Jigba.
It's a big play there for Seattle. 42 yards.
We expected this defense to be tested by this passing game coming into this one. And there's an example on this first possession of the game.
Walker will take this into the end zone for a Seahawk touchdown. And that caps off what was really a balanced opening drive for them, Charles. They work in the rushing game and the aerial attack, and they end it with a touchdown.
Strong in so many ways, wasn't it, partner? Their ability to throw it and run it and accomplish their goal, they've got to like the way that they started this ball game.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And it's now a 7-0 game. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. For the Buffalo offense coming out, and it is Josh Allen who is at the helm.
I remember when he came out of Wyoming, the big question mark, could he be accurate enough to be a star in the NFL? I think it's safe to say he's put all of us in our place and put those doubts to rest. He can roll out and run it. He can bomb it over your heads, everything in between. He is an absolute nightmare for defenses to try and prepare for. And when he's on, he's an MVP caliber player each and every time he takes the field.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Allen now looks to throw.
This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down.
Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, You just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
Allen to throw once more.
Allen, nifty footwork. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. So they will tread backward on the holding penalty.
And I know that they're going to get coached up and they'll get yelled at a little bit, but let's face it, it is hard not to do at the speed and pace that they play.
On first down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be second down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike. There he goes, Amari Cooper. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Amari Cooper, 53 yards. And the Bills are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And we are tied at 7. The drive summary that time, 5 plays.
And it's Amari Cooper who finishes it off with a touchdown reception.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away.
Taken at the goal line. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
10 yards and a Seattle first down.
I know this may be jumping the gun a little bit, but 7-7, they're flinging it around like crazy. Look at the drive that's going on here. Partner, we may have to start thinking about one of these defenses just holding someone to a field goal and maybe trying to get an advantage that way.
A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves it with a 2nd and 3. These two teams all tied after 1. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here.
Sticking with Walker on second down. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30.
First down Seattle on a pickup of 13.
Again, it's Walker. 45 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. From the 23, here's a second down and 4.
Throwing now is Geno. Flushed out right. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. On third down, here's Walker.
And he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2.
They'll run for it. It's Walker.
And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. He'll buy some time right. He's got his big tight end, Fant. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Out of the gun, Walker with it.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That play gets him 6 yards and sets them up with a 1st and goal. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
Here's Walker.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Ken Walker with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. The Seahawks offense staying put out on the field. They're going to go for 2. They're going to keep it on the ground. And he will get into the end zone again. And he seems to have a nose for it as he gets both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. Needed a couple yards for the 2-point try. They go to the ground game, and it works.
And sometimes it's the exact right thing to do because a lot of teams play you for the pass. So you spread people out and decide to run the football. You often find good running lanes.
So here come the Bills out for their second drive. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive. So we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away.
Back deep is Jalen Darden.
Fielded at the 33. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. 1:53 remaining in this first half of play. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Eluding the pressure right.
And he's got Smith and Jigba.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A big pickup of 38. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Smith. And his throw here is going to be incomplete.
I can assure you, setting up a screen is much more difficult than it appears. It requires excellent timing from everyone on the offense, and a defense's #1 goal is to throw that timing off.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. Myers' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
And it wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit.
That's to Cook out of the backfield.
And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. Flush to his right. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up.
Partner, before that fumble was great. Good vision, navigated the open field, got good chunk yardage. At that point, if you see a defender coming, though, just step out of bounds. Don't risk all you picked up before the hit to just try and get an extra yard or two.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, Smith escaping the pressure right.
And complete to Smith and Jigba.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. They'll roll him out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now Smith. Flushed out. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it.
And this ball recovered by the offense. But remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So this will be blown dead. And it'll come back to the spot of the fumble. The fumble on 1st down now. Here's 2nd down.
The final shot here before break. Smith. Sliding out of the pocket. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish.
Tremendous way. That's momentum that they carry in with them. Can they convert it and bring it back out to start the 3rd quarter?
So we are at halftime here in down. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. The Bills trail here, but they will get the football first as we are back underway on EA Sports.
And no run back here as the 3rd quarter will commence with a touchback. The Bills offense set to take over to begin quarter number 3. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Now Allen throwing on 2nd down. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a 1st down. From the gun, it's Allen.
Shakir hauls it in.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch. Not much yardage afterwards.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. To throw, it's Allen.
Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted.
And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Well, they're certainly in a bad way right now. Not so bad that you can call this one over already, but bad enough that you know you can't toss an interception to open the second half. This just ratchets up the pressure on this team's defense right now.
He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone.
Oh, and that is incomplete.
I certainly like the idea. You're down on their side of the field. Get your big play guy involved. That time, they put one up for him to see if he can pull it down in the end zone, but the coverage was good, and it winds up incomplete.
On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. 75 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Back to Walker on 1st down.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. They'll try for the first with Walker.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Now Smith. Rolling to his right. Touchdown! Noah Fant from 17 yards out as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
So they're able to capitalize there on the short field, and that might prove to be the score that turns out the lights.
The party's over. Oh, sorry about that. That's an old reference there, folks. But, yeah, they've been the better of the two teams by far, and that's great complementary football right there. Defense gets the turnover, sets up the short field, and the offense goes right out and scores to open up a pretty sizable lead.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there. And sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
Back now on offense, the Buffalo Bills. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked by Julian Love.
And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
It certainly feels like this defensive group has figured this guy out to the tune of a big lead in this one. And you know that he's frustrated with how this game has gone. And now with back-to-back interceptions, he's got to find a way to get out of his own head and start making better plays.
Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. That is incomplete.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go up the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
Up the middle, here's Walker.
And he's going to take this one down to the 25. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
And that was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on 1st down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
Off of play action, here's Smith. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. For the 4th quarter, we'll begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
Derek Hall able to run him down for a loss of a yard.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Allen going to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Give him 18 on that one as the Bills are going to have a first down. Here's Allen to throw it. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up second and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
Meanwhile, Allen's throw taken in by Cooper here.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 36. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. Throwing now is Allen. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first. Now Allen. Eluding the pressure right. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against the front that's prepared for him to try and take off.
Here's Allen.
Has his man, it's Shakir.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on third down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. Allen.
That's caught by Kincaid, working the middle of the field.
And they're going to get him down shy of the first at about the 13-yard line. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be fourth down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Running for it, here's Cook, and nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped behind the line. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. Throwing now, Smith. He'll buy some time right. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield.
Well, CD, that helps the home team as they try to erase this deficit. Give them the penalty for pass interference on the defense.
Yeah, and they certainly haven't been happy with what they've seen so far, have they?
No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. And now they're in the hurry-up. Play action. It's Smith. They'll roll him out right. Oh, a leap, and he will make the catch.
And he'll be touched down at the end, but a big play on that one.
And even with the game seemingly in hand, they're continuing to fire away, pressing the ball down the field. Listen, it's worked all day. No reason to go away from it now.
And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
On 2nd and 10, Smith, flush to his right. This is caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Well, when they said before the game that they were going to try and execute every second of this contest, I guess that was taken literally, because here they are in the final moments of the fourth, putting another touchdown on the board, Charles, to add to this big lead.
Not a big believer in 110%, but it certainly applies here, doesn't it? Because some guys just can't go with less. As long as there's time left on the clock, they're pushing to get to the end zone one more time. They don't really care about what the optics show. They just want to finish the game off the way that they like to play it. full speed, all out.
And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that's a staple for you and should work better and try and execute that on the way out the door and maybe get back to base and feel a little bit better as you end a ball game that's been a frustrating one for you.
And we'll see if they go back to base.
Well, this game, it was well in hand early, never really in doubt. Charles, you and I do so many games together. There's so much parity in the NFL, a lot of close battles. This was not one. Tip